And then it didn't just stop there, did
No,
it?
exactly. I mean, never did I imagine. I thought I couldn't
It
get any
just
better.
continued on. What happened? What was your response when you got a call and you were invited to be a part of the touring company of Chicago in the United States? I mean, that's an amazing feat.
Well, if you go a little further back, when I was, you came and
I came along, and that's where we met.
Yes, let me.
But
say
I
this.
remember when I saw that show, what I saw was you, because I saw the musical and I'm like, oh my God, this girl is a star. So I was so I was so proud to be, playing Velma opposite you.
No, and it was such an honor when we got you. And then
really
6
fun.
months later, then you went bye-bye, and we kept in touch.
Yes.
And 6 months later, my producer in Mexico calls me to his office and tells me that he was just on the phone with New York. And they want to invite you over for a short run of 3 weeks on Broadway. So in 3 weeks, you leave. So for 3 weeks, I was studying the role in English during the day and doing the show in Spanish at night.
Right.
And then the day came, and I came to New York.
That was an amazing day. You came and you never left. I mean,
never
only
left.
for specific things. You had an amazing run in Chicago. Your contract extended. How long were you on the road for?
And then exactly when the movie comes out, it has such an amount of
A big impact in a second life.
yes, and they decided to kick off the third national tour.
Yeah.
So it became 2 years on the road, two years consecutively being
Right.
on the tour. And in the middle of all that, I moved to New York, and then I really decided that I wanted to build a career here. And then after that came Pajama Game, my
Right.
next musical on Broadway that I got by myself.
Now tell me about that, because after being Roxy Hart, you get Pajama Game, but you were in an ensemble role.
Yes.
Why did you decide to do that?
You know, a lot of people told me, or they thought that I was crazy. No. When you get to the top, you're not supposed to go
Gotta
back.
stay there.
You got to stay there. But I felt that I had started my journey, and I had started from scratch in Mexico City. You know, like I just said, like ensemble and dance captain and swing, and build my way up till Roxy.
Right.
But I hadn't done that in Mexico.
Here.
I hadn't paid my dues in New York.
In New York, yeah.
So I said, no, I gotta go back. And I knew, of course, about Kathleen Marshall, and it was an honor to work under her direction. And Harry Connick Jr., hello. And so, so it was an amazing cast and it took us to the Tonys. I danced at the Tonys. We won the Tony for the best revival that year.
Right.
It was just an amazing journey. And then after that, went back to Chicago, and
Right.
when Usher came to do Billy
Right,
Glenn,
exactly.
that was also an amazing
I mean,
experience.
the amount of people, of celebrities that you have played opposite with that
Yes.
show is amazing.
I am so
Someone.
grateful for this long relationship that I've had with Chicago, that I can do several months with them, a contract worth of several months, and then leave and go do other things, do other regional work, or go back to my country, Mexico,
Yeah.
and do other shows like The Sound
Now,
of Music.
exactly. And also, before that, because you're also a singer-songwriter, and a
Yes.
quite good one at that, you created your own show,
Yes.
which was called Solo Pido.
Yes, you saw it.
Which is, and I had the honor of being there at her opening night. And this show was called Solo Pido, I Only Ask, titled after one of your songs.
Yes.
Why that title? Why the show? Why did you feel you needed to go back to Mexico to present that, and how was that experience for you?
So 3 years ago, in the year of 2007, I lost my mother. And it was very sudden, no sickness or anything. She had suffered a brain aneurysm, and literally just, she fainted and she was gone. So my way of dealing with it was, of course, going back to my music and going back to my piano and my lyrics. So that song, Solo Pido, all I ask is I sing it to my mother. All I ask is that you be here. Solo pido que tú estés aquí.
Sí.
So I started writing all these songs for her and started to create a show. And the show is the journey of a little girl that was raised in Matamoros and how she got to Broadway.
Yeah.
And with songs of American songwriters, Mexican songwriters, musical theater, all the shows that I've done, songs from my own creation, and just fuse them all together. It was a very eclectic show. Very very risky maybe, because it was a lot of things
Right,
tied
because
in.
it was you. It was so intimate. You know, it was you telling your story.
Yes. And in all that, telling my story, my mother's always present in the dialogue.
Right.
When I always tear down the fourth wall and talk to the audience, and she's always present. My mother took me to my first ballet class. My mother said this when she helped me put up my apartment in Mexico City. My mother said this when all the big events in my life, and then until the part where I say, May 26, 2007, a butterfly stood on my hand, and they say that they say a white butterfly announces a letter,
right?
And in this case, it was the sudden death of my mother, and that's finally when I sing Solo Pido in the show.